Okay, we want to talk about working with images within Vizrt T5. And images are essential for any designer. They can be used as either textures on 3D objects, part of a PBR material, as an environment map, as a regular image, and other options. Now, images can be imported right into the graphic hub or into our asset view here. So what you would do is just highlight a folder where you want it to go. Make sure the I tab is selected. You go into the import, and then you have your drop down here. Make sure it's set to images. You navigate to your folder, you click OK, and it goes into the folder. We have another video on how to import images and other things if you want to go into more detail. We'll jump back into our default view here. Our images, when we import it, show up within our asset view in the I tab. And if you right click on it, you can have a couple of options. You can rename it, you can delete it, you can duplicate it, you can even export it. When we go to export it, you just click on it and it will export it, allowing you to select the drive and give it a name and also a file type. As you can see, we have PNG, HDR, Targa, PSD, many options for you. If we right click, again, we also have the option to pre-filter an environment map, check out, add to container, or search by reference. So as we mentioned, images can be used different ways. It can be used as a standalone image. So here you can see within our background, we have an image placed within the background, and this is creating the background. We can also drag an image up as a standalone container, and then you can further manipulate it with its transformation properties and such if need be. Images can also be used as textures. So if we go into our geometry plugins here, we can drag a 3D object up here. Now it's important to note which render mode you're actually working in, because it will work a bit different between the classic mode and Viz Engine mode. First, in the classic mode, when we switch over here, to use an image as a texture, we could just navigate to a folder, find an image that we want to use, and drag that onto our container. Then we click on the icon and it takes us into the texture editor properties where we can further manipulate it. So we'll do a whole separate video on the classic texture, but some of the settings you can change here is your transformation and your mapping. So if we wanted to change this from a linear mapping to more of a reflection or a cylindrical or a vertex, whichever we need to do, we can. At any time, if you want to swap out an image, you can just swap it out within that container as well. If you want to delete an image from that container, you can just drag it to the trash. When we flip over to the other render mode, Viz Engine render mode, one of the main things we can do with images and textures in here is to use it as a PBR material. And if we go into our container plugins, we're going to look for our PBR material, and we're going to slide this up onto our container. If we click on the icon, it now opens up a whole new window where we can slide corresponding images into it. So this works if you have a PBR materials, physical based rendering materials. So here we can see I have a couple in here, and what we would do is drag these up into these corresponding boxes so that we can start creating a texture out of these images. So as I continue to drag these images onto this texture, it will complete that texture. Furthermore, material definitions and materials advanced can contain images as well. Now we'll do a separate video on how to texture objects in the Viz Engine renderer. So if you want to go into more detail how that works, you can check out that one. Also, at any time, we can come into our images, and if we find an image that we want to manipulate and we don't want to export it into an external program and make changes there, what we can do is double click on it, and that will bring up our image editor window. And if you want to check out what the image editor window is, we'll do a complete separate video on that. So check out the image editor video.